superheroes, welcome to week 5. And now Super A is not with us today. She is in a secret mission trying to find the next elements of God's armor. So, while she comes back, let's get ready to sing and to learn today's element. Are you with me?
Put on the full armor of God, stand strong against the evil one. Put on the full armor of God, the full armor of God. First things first, got the belt of truth. Ayo, ayo. Put on my boots, gotta tell the good news. Ayo, ayo. The armor of God and the shield of faith. Got my sword and my helmet, now it's time to pray. Ayo, ayo. I put on the full armor of God, stand strong against the evil one. I put on the full armor of God, the full armor of God. First things first, you got the belt of truth. Ayo, ayo. Put on my boots, I gotta tell the good news. The armor of God and the shield of faith. Ayo, ayo. Got my sword and my helmet, now it's time to pray. Ayo, ayo. Put on the full armor of God, stand strong against the evil one. Put on the full armor of God, the full armor of God. Put on the full armor of God, stand strong against the evil one. Put on full armor of God, the full armor of God. Now in faith we can stand against every evil plan. Now it's time to be strong. He has won. I put on the full armor of God, stand strong against the evil one. I put on the full armor of God, the full armor of God. I put on the full armor of God, stand strong against the evil one. Put on the full armor of God, the full armor of God.
Of course I do, Sid. There's a piece of the armor of God called the shield of faith. It helps defend our weak areas and gives us faith when we have questions or don't know what to believe. I'm sending a rescue package your way. You should be receiving it in a few minutes. Also, let me patch you through to Undercover Reggie. He knows exactly how to use the shield of faith.
Psst. Hey guys, Undercover Reggie here. Iris told me that acrophobia discovered the clock's weakness, fear of tiny foods. Well, never fear, the shield of faith will solve this problem. God's people, the Israelites, had a weakness. They had a really hard time believing and trusting in God's promises, and they let fear get in the way of the good things God had for them. You see, there was a land that God promised to give them. The Israelites had never been there before, so Moses, their leader, sent Joshua, Caleb, and 10 other men into the land to check it out. Once the men got into the promised land, they couldn't believe their eyes. This place was the best thing they had ever seen. They saw that there were grapes so large that it took 2 of them to carry just one branch. The land was so perfect, they said it was flowing with milk and honey. They loved all that they were seeing, except there was one tiny problem. There were some really tall and powerful people living there. Well, the 12 men went back to Moses to tell him what they saw. 10 of the men told Moses that the land was great, but warned him, saying things like, "We can't attack those people. They are more powerful than we are. We look like grasshoppers compared to them." The other 2 men, Joshua and Caleb, told Moses about all of the great things in the land. They had faith and believed that because God had promised them the land, it would be theirs. They used their faith in God like a shield and told everyone they shouldn't be afraid because God was with them. When the Israelites heard the report, they let their weakness of fear take over. They decided not to go into the land. Because of this, the Israelites wandered for another 40 years in the desert. God decided once again to bring them to the promised land and allowed them to enter this time. Joshua and Caleb had faith and never stopped trusting God. They were able to live in the perfect land that God promised. When we have faith and trust God, we use the shield of faith from God's armor to overcome our weaknesses. When we suit up with the shield of faith, we can stand against any fear and save the day.
Can you imagine being in a place where you don't know anybody and when a place that you don't know and maybe just having to trust God in that? Joshua and his friends, I'm sure they were afraid of everything that they could find in this new place. But God was ready to protect them. So just as them, we can walk and trust that He is with us even in hard situations because He has given us this great armor. So what superheroes, there is something I need you to save in your super minds and your super hearts. Ready? Okay, so let's repeat it together. Suit up with the shield of faith. Great job! Now let's repeat our memory verse with a superhero pose. Put on all God's armor, then you can remain strong against the devil's evil plans. Ephesians 6:11. Great job, superheroes! I'm really proud of you. So get ready for next week while we are discovering more elements of God's armor. See you!